talk a little finance. First, cash flow is king. You hear people make reference to the importance of cash flow regularly, especially in relation to startup, but what does it mean? What it means is cash is the lifeblood of your organization. Imagine if a hospital risked running out of blood. They would be monitoring their inventory level on an hourly basis. And that's how you need to approach cash in your startup. Project your cash balance in 2 weeks, in 3 months, in 6 months. And this will allow you to be free from worry and focus on the important parts of running the business, which is generating revenue. The biggest part of this is building a tool that will do it for you. Every business is a little bit different, so you'll want to build your own tool. Keep it simple, but constantly be tweaking, improving, and iterating so the tool gets better and better over time. Keep in mind, when I started building our cash projection tool for the company, it was terrible at the beginning. It started to get useful at maybe 24 to 36 months. It became powerful maybe 5 or 6 years into it. But today, 25 years in, it's one of the most valuable assets we have. One of the worst things you can do, one of the worst things I see out there is people have a tendency to look the other way when things get bad. Use your tool, get intimate with your burn rate and your fume date. Your burn rate being the amount of cash you're losing on a daily, weekly basis. Your fume date's the date you're predicting in the future that you're actually going to run out of money. Know these numbers intimately, and I guarantee you'll have a better chance of not running out of money because you'll manage your business accordingly. Second, the term finance and startup. It's much more sophisticated of a word than is necessary. It's kind of like talking about your Epicurean experience at McDonald's yesterday. Finance is a word used when you're doing things like asset allocation or utilizing derivatives to offset risk and evaluating municipal overbond spreads. Remember, you're listening to a guy who waited until his accounting firm threatened to resign before he hired a controller, and that was 23 years into the business. Don't get me wrong, the complicated stuff is important, and hopefully you'll be dealing with all kinds of complex financial models and tools over time. But now my advice during startup is to get really focused on bookkeeping. I said bookkeeping. It's critical that you as the founder are aware of how your money is organized, and that's the function of bookkeeping. I doubt many of your advanced level business degrees deal with chart of account allocations or financial statement design, but this is exactly what I'm advocating you spend time on during startup. Sure, you can hire somebody to do this work, but I'm always afraid you won't circle back and understand how your company is structured at its core. I know many times over the years managing my business that having a deep understanding of the inner workings of my financial structure helped me solve problems arising from unusual circumstances, and that has been extremely valuable to me. Now that I've probably lost any of the MBAs that were listening, let's move on to the importance of communication. Always let people know where they stand, even if the news is ugly. In my experience, people are quite willing to work with you if you fall short of cash for a moment. When they shut you down or get nasty is when you vanish and they get worried that they're not going to get paid at all. If you're in communication with people and you let them know what you're doing to increase your cash position and that you're going to do everything in your power to get them paid, they're going to be much more lenient and willing to provide you some time. At one point when we were in a tight spot, I was calling vendors on a weekly basis to provide an update. Eventually, some got tired of hearing from me, and they told me that they trusted we would get caught up when we could. And of course, we did. Many of those folks are still vendors of ours today, and we have a great relationship with them. So these are my fundamentals when it comes to finance during startup. 1, be a good bookkeeper. 2, build an amazing tool that works for cash projection. And finally, communicate. Keep it simple when it comes to financing your startup. You'll have plenty of time for complexity once you are a sustainable enterprise, but we got to get you there first.